I'm here today to express the nation's gratitude to Justice Stephen Breyer for his remarkable career of public service.
Supreme Court Justice Breyer announced his upcoming retirement at an event with Joe Biden. He will serve out the remainder of the current term, which ends in June. Breyer was appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1994, and his length of service, 27 years, is second only to Clarence Thomas. As the oldest member of the Supreme Court, speculation has swirled around for years about when he would step down and who would be selected to replace him. Since Joe Biden's inauguration, many progressive activists and Democratic Congress members have called on Breyer to retire in order to allow for a replacement to be selected while Democrats control both the White House and the Senate. NBC noted that Breyer is one of the 3 remaining liberal justices, and his decision to retire after more than 27 years on the court allows President Joe Biden to appoint a successor who could serve for several decades, and in the short term, maintain the current 6-3 split between conservative and liberal justices. The activists calling on Breyer to step down have been very vocal because of Biden's promise during the campaign to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. And now is his opportunity.
I committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's required that they have representation now. It's long overdue.
Back in the spring of 2021, the social justice group Demand Justice even launched a Breyer Retire campaign, which was backed by 12 other progressive organizations, such as Black Lives Matter, the Women's March, and Take Back the Court Action Fund. At the time, Demand Justice wrote, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer should immediately announce his intent to retire from the bench. With future control of the closely divided Senate uncertain, President Biden must have the opportunity to nominate a successor without delay and fulfill his pledge to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. During an NPR interview in September of 2021, Breyer addressed the calls for him to retire by saying that he didn't plan to stay in his position for the rest of his life. However, he did not indicate when exactly he would step down.
When exactly I should retire or will retire has many complex parts to it. I think I'm aware of most of them, and I am and will consider them.
Just a few days later, Stephen Colbert directly called out the fear among liberals that a Democrat president would not be in office to select a replacement.
The last question is, are you going to retire? They're afraid you're going to die when a Republican's in office and they won't replace someone who is more in keeping with your judicial philosophy.
Breyer never gave a clear answer to Colbert about when he would retire. The White House had said that it did not force Breyer out or coordinate with him on when he would retire. However, it was revealed that Breyer and Biden spoke about the justice stepping down more than a week before any announcement was made. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki had previously acknowledged the ongoing calls from liberals to replace Breyer and claimed that the White House wasn't involved in the timeline for Breyer's retirement.
He believes that's a decision Justice Breyer will make when he decides it's time to no longer serve on the Supreme Court.
However, the White House began searching for Breyer's replacement long before the public announcement. News reports indicate that Biden's team developed extensive research on candidates to replace Breyer, and that they have been sharing these names with politicians and the media in Washington, D.C. The list of candidates includes 8 African-American women, including 6 federal judges, 1 state Supreme Court justice, and 1 attorney from the NAACP. While liberals in the White House initially tried to avoid the appearance that they forced Breyer out, other groups, like Demand Justice, are already celebrating the news and setting the tone for the upcoming nomination and confirmation process. They released a statement that says, "It is a relief that President Biden will get the opportunity to choose the next justice on the Supreme Court while the Senate is in Democratic hands. Now we must make sure our party remains united in support of confirming his successor. And Democrats will indeed need to remain fully united if they hope to confirm a replacement before the congressional midterm elections on November 8th. The Senate is equally divided between Democrats and Republicans. However, in agreement between the parties, Democrats control the committees as well as the majority leader position, which is held by Chuck Schumer. This means that when the Committee on the Judiciary holds confirmation hearings, Democrats will retain power over the format and rules of the sessions. The 50-50 split in the full Senate means that if there is a tie, Vice President Kamala Harris will be required to cast the deciding vote. And if the votes for the previous 2 confirmations are any indication of what will happen here, it's going to be close. Justice Barrett was confirmed by a margin of 4 votes, and Justice Kavanaugh was confirmed by an even tighter margin of 2 votes. Months before the latest news about Breyer's retirement, some have speculated about whether Kamala Harris herself would be nominated for the position on the court. A CNN article said that tensions had been rising in the White House, in a story first reported by Jack Posobiec. Kamala Harris has apparently not been getting along well with the rest of the White House, including First Lady Jill Biden. The reports say that the disagreements progressed to the point where Kamala began to refer to Joe Biden as the Titanic. In addition, some high-level individuals at the White House have also been looking for ways to remove Kamala from her position, with a Supreme Court nomination being one option. Although the move would be unprecedented for a vice president, there is no restriction preventing Harris from being nominated or serving on the court. William Taft served as Chief Justice several years after he was president, and while not a requirement, he also had prior experience as a federal judge. The speculation about Harris raises the question of whether she would be able to cast a tie-breaking vote in the Senate for her own confirmation process. Although this exact situation has never occurred, some scholars have said there is nothing blocking her from doing so. If she were to be confirmed, Biden would then nominate a replacement for vice president, and a majority of both houses of Congress would be required to confirm the appointment. Adding to the speculation about who the nominee will be, Jen Psaki confirmed in a press conference that Biden will choose a black woman.
The president has stated and reiterated his commitment to nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court.
While Breyer's seat on the court is expected to be replaced by another liberal, many Democrats have also pushed for expanding the total number of justices, particularly while Democrats are in power. Doing so would completely change the court from the current centrist conservative majority to one that is far left. Kamala was directly asked about this kind of court-packing initiative during the 2020 vice presidential debates, but she couldn't provide a clear explanation of her position.
This is a classic case of if you can't win by the rules, you're going to change the rules. If Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States, are you and Joe Biden, if somehow you win this election, going to pack the Supreme Court to get your way?
In 1864...
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
In response to the campaign issue of court packing, Biden appointed a committee to address the question of whether the court should be expanded. Biden appeared to want someone else to be held responsible, politically, for suggesting any expansion to the court, and the committee likewise did not make a clear recommendation in either direction. The only thing the committee could agree on was a statement that the political climate in the country is currently quite divided. The conversations and rumors about who will replace Breyer are just beginning.
I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view.
As for what Breyer will do with his time after he retires, here's what he told Stephen Colbert.
What would you do if you did retire? If you could retire, or if this was the right time, what would your plans be? Like, what's fun for you?
Not sure what's
Hiking, woodworking,
cooking.
cooking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're going to get a lot of really nice pots and pans after this interview. And if you retire, you can accept them.
For all the latest updates on Supreme Court nominations and confirmations, go to dailywire.com. I'm Brett Cooper. Thanks for watching.